Hi, Jacob. Why did she post those clips on your shorts about me? What's
I post all my clips.
about
What do you
me?
mean? No, I post clips about everybody. Me and Mud Rabbit, me and you, me and Stone Wolf.
That's just crazy.
Me and Simon.
And where's Mud Rabbit?
Where's Mud Rabbit? I don't know. It's Thursday. She could be over at Aaron's. She could just be at home.
It's Friday.
Oh, it's Friday. She could be at Aaron's. I don't know.
What's Aaron's link?
Aaron's is cool. Aaron's is it's like a conspiracy podcast
Can you post it?
Have I posted it?
Yeah.
It's on Rumble. It's on Rumble. He's not on YouTube anymore.
Asian doesn't like people.
Can you please?
I can't post it on here. I don't know his Rumble link. I don't go to his channel anymore since he's been on Rumble. Because I don't really go on Rumble that much.
What is Rumble?
Rumble is just a free speech platform.
And so, what did she post? Like me saying mud rabbits?
What did I post?
Yeah.
I posted whatever StreamYard automatically made into clips, and then I just upload them. Usually I put a description on there, some hashtags and some keywords, and then upload it. Ooh, did you see the new StreamYard feature?
Which one?
The one that's on the screen right now. Can you see it? I got excited about it. That's what I came on to test. You can put the comments on the screen now without having to click on them. Noelle, are you on two panels again right now?
I'm watching my clip.
Oh, you're watching your clip. From my channel?
Yeah.
Is it good? A couple of them had like 1,000 views.
Really?
One of them had like 9 likes or 10 likes. Yeah. There's a couple of them. Well, because I post them on both of my channels. So one channel might get like 500 and the other channel might get like 1,500.
And then my views have what?
I think you probably have over 2,000 views on like most of those videos. Oh, did you see? Oh, so the one where we talked about what we were doing over the weekend, it was me, you, and Mud Rabbit. It was from like 3 weeks ago, and it was a half-hour video.
Really?
That one almost got like 2,000 views. That one people liked a lot.
So why do you post these clips about people?
I've always done this.
I didn't even know that. Like, wow. For why? For
Scott, I don't know if I've met you before. I usually don't let up new people I haven't met before. Another personal man. There's a guy in the background who was trying to join because it just says open panel, so he wouldn't know.
And the name is Scott?
Yeah. If I put an overlay on, I'll let you up here for a minute, just in case you got something to join. Hold on, sorry. My overlay didn't work. I don't know why. It's doing an auto change on me. It's weird. Let me do this. All right, now you're on. You have to unmute though.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing, Scotty?
Good. How are you, Scotty?
Just checking things out. Just hanging out on a Friday, Memorial Day weekend.
Nice. Got anything planned for Memorial Day weekend?
No, not really. Just having fun tonight. Just checking things out. Just checking out your stream.
What kind of streams do you watch on YouTube?
Yeah, what kind of?
I watch like everything. I like to open this panels and stuff, and I think that's what how I got into this. I saw like you had like an open panel discussion, so then just jumped in. just for fun, you know.
Yeah, I hadn't been live in a little while, and I was testing out the new features that they have on
What's the new
StreamYard.
feature?
It's where you can have the comments when they come in, they go right up onto the screen. And a lot of other platforms have that. Like you can do it on Twitch, you can do it on Twitter, you can do it on a lot of other ones. But yeah, usually you have to run OBS, and now StreamYard is just doing it. It's just a filter that I can turn on and off, and it's just on the bottom right corner of my screen. It's pretty cool. Not a bad feature to have. Saves me.
Pretty cool.
Then I don't have to pull up every comment. People can actually feel like they're getting seen. It helps.
Oh, thanks for letting me on. At least for now. Thank you, sir.
Oh yeah. No, I just it's more because I've had wild guests in the past. Some people like to show naughty stuff, and some people like to just swear, and sometimes I just got to keep people in the background until I get to know you for a minute.
Sure.
Nothing
No, yeah.
personal.
Thanks for giving me a chance. Yeah, of course. Got it.
So, do you do a show on YouTube
Yeah,
or
do you
anything?
do a show?
No, I've been thinking about it. I've joined a lot of shows just like to participate, try to get like a feel for it, you know, like and learn from things like what you just said and like other people, you know. There's a lot of people out there that just do like weird things, so you have to watch out for it. So I'm just trying to learn before I do anything, you know. But I
Yeah,
would like to do an open panel thing like you're doing.
What streaming service do you like to use? Have you since you've joined a lot of open panels, do you usually join StreamYard? Do you join like Emux? Like what do you try?
Oh, StreamYard, yeah, and I think about doing if I start my own StreamYard, maybe the $30 a month sounds good to me. They have a lot of features out of the research that I've been doing.
Yeah, I like it. I've had it for I don't know 4 years. I started with Zoom and then switched over to StreamYard. It just saves all your content. Now it's got a new clip feature where it makes shorts for me. That's what Noelle was just asking. She was asking me if I made all of these videos of her,
Yes.
and I was like, no, I didn't make anything. I just push a button and it makes them by itself. And
Nice.
It just adds a title, and all I have to do is I don't know, fill out a description.
Good stuff.
But yeah. And then StreamYard also has an auto upload, but I think of the little bit of research I've done, I think if you auto upload from StreamYard, it actually lessens your views. It doesn't put you through the algorithm as well. So it's easier to upload them. It's actually better to upload them by hand for some reason. I'm not sure why, but it's seeming to be like that.
Oh, thanks for the info on that.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of little random. I've tried so many random things just to see what works.
Nice.
What if you did do a show? What would you do your show about? What do you like to talk about when you go on open panels? Do you like to talk about politics? Like, do you like to do debates? Like, what's your thing?
Oh, well, personally, politically, I'm a libertarian, so that's kind of in the middle. So I think I could debate like pretty much anybody, basically. Yep. Love. You like the flower compared to the vape? You know, personally, love the flower over the vape. But I got into boxing, so I haven't been doing either for a little bit. So I'm thinking about like edibles, like if we're going to talk about weed and stuff, you know, like.
Oh, okay, all right. So you threw a lot of things at me there. All right, so I only smoke. All right, just because it's confusing. I do like flower. Flower's great, wonderful. I love it. I only smoke oil though, really. Anything that you see out of my water pipe is actually tobacco. Because I don't like my fingers to stink. That's why I stopped smoking cigarettes a long time ago. And I don't know. I kind of feel like water might be a better filter to my tobacco than just like the cotton that's on the end of a cigarette. Yeah, I just gave up.
That's pretty
cigarettes.
crazy. So that's pretty crazy the stuff that you're smoking like tobacco out of a bong. Like, so a question, sir. Like, how old are you, and when did you first started smoking cigarettes? Because then I can answer your questions about that too.
But
that's very interesting.
I started smoking cigarettes in general probably before I was old enough to. And then because of where I live, they put a ban on flavored tobacco. I'm 30. I had to think about it. I'm 35.
Okay.
So when I was 18, I think they put a ban on flavored tobacco. So I kind of lost interest in it for a while. I used to only smoke cherry tobacco. I really liked that a lot. And I probably started smoking bongs of tobacco probably at the age of like 17 or 18, something like that. And then just kind of got off cigarettes in general by the age of like 21. Never really smoked cigarettes after that. Just ripping bongs of tobacco as my girlfriend walks in. That's what she said. But yeah, I'm more of a I don't know. I like to vaporize my oil, but I do it by hand with a torch.
Well, I'd never heard of that. I'm a little older than you.
What haven't you heard of?
Oh no, well I'm 43, so I'm like 8 years older than you. I was born in '81. I never heard about like some flavored tobacco ban. Like, what state is this? That seems weird to me. Like, what is this?
It's in Illinois. I think they did it in California, and I think they also did it in New York for a period of time. And it was basically because fruity flavors, they felt like they were advertising them towards kids because, I mean, a regular tobacco flavor wouldn't actually be more appetizing to kids. But if you start adding like cherry and stuff like that, now they've gotten more into vapes where I think there's an argument for it where they could probably do it for vapes too, because I bet there are younger and younger kids vaping based on the weird ass flavors that they have. And yeah, I don't know. I see the argument for it.
Well, yeah, I'm from California. I didn't hear about that ban. I was unaware of that, but yeah.
I heard they were also trying to get rid of menthol in California, which is also a flavor ban.
No, I didn't hear about that either. They never got rid of that. I did like the Newports back in the day.
Because I heard a bunch of outrage about it, and then I also heard that's why that the Newport came out with a regular cigarette, is in case they did actually pass that in some places.
Interesting. No,
yeah.
Was not aware of that.
But yeah, no. I like talking politics. I like debating with people. I consider myself like a conservative libertarian, or I would actually, a conservative libertarian probably be the best way to describe it. Slightly constitutionalist, but very much into letting people do their own thing as long as they're not harming others. That's my libertarian side that usually overshadows everything.
That's what I would say too, and I am a registered libertarian. I've only voted libertarian and for the presidents in the last few years and all that other stuff. But yeah, I'd say slightly more on the right side, and probably Trump over Kamala is probably a good decision. You know, saying from the moderate perspective, and I consider like us, like libertarians are the moderates. You know, so it's more of a moderate thing because. The bigger threat is the far left because it's about government control. We don't want that. We don't want government control. That's what libertarians do not like.
Well, and I think the biggest thing for conservatives or libertarians or any centrists to do is to actually pick a side when it comes down to that, because otherwise you're going to end up you got to pick the worst, the shiniest turd. Like, we don't get the best candidates for president. I don't know how people are the best in the world.
I did not like Charles Olivier, whatever, but I still voted for him as a libertarian, but I still didn't like him. It's,
I don't know. I think it's weird when you don't like either one of them. So, where are the people? You can see them? Yeah, they're only.
Well, it's always a douche and a turd. To quote South Park, by the way. It always is that. But yeah, I didn't vote for either one of them. I did vote for the guy I didn't like, but I just you know, for the moderate, for the movement, for, you know, the libertarian movement, the third largest party, right?
It's not even that I don't like Trump. I would say the only thing I don't like is always Trumpers. I think always Trumpers. I think always any people are bad. Like if you fully support any politician, you've kind of already like lost your argument. I mean,
Right.
it's almost like having your feet in the sand about any idea and being convinced that nobody could show you any other evidence that would make you think otherwise. And
I'm the same boat. I agree with you completely. Yeah, I have never voted for Trump or Biden or Kamala. You know, I'm libertarian.
I do think Trump is one of the better presidents that we've had in the last, I don't know, 20 years.
Well, yeah, and yeah, he might be the best. Basically, based on the last few months, I think to do stuff that actually, I'm surprised. And he did take in some libertarian like ideals with it. There's some other things too that I don't agree with, but actually getting things done. And it's crazy with the last presidency because like we all knew that the guy was not at the helm, and it was like crazy. Like we were told that's what libertarians hate the most, when everybody's telling us like you can't say that he's out of his mind and other people are controlling the White House. You know.
Well, the biggest thing about it that I was actually just talking about this earlier was how the fuck is Anderson Cooper going to come out with a book now and get a Nobel Prize for saying the thing that everybody's been saying for the last 4 years? I think Anderson Cooper just came out with a book. Was it Jake Tapper or Anderson Cooper? Or...
Jake Tapper. I think what you're thinking about. Jake Tapper's the one that came out with the book this week. Yeah, Jake Tapper.
And I'm like, how the fuck is somebody going to come out with a book basically saying the exact same thing as everybody? He was even promoting the idea
vehemently. He was vehemently defending it. Yeah. He's the guy you're talking about, Jake Tapper. He's the one that when Trump's like daughter-in-law or something, where he was like saying like, oh, you can't say you're diagnosing him as cognitively declined. Yeah, that was Jake Tapper. Yeah.
That's what happened this week. Some people were even defending him after the debate. Some people bailed on him when the debate happened, and then some people followed the train after. I remember it was so weird to watch, and I don't understand why people were in denial about it. And then there was like obvious ones where people were tweeting from their own handles on Twitter when they were supposed to be writing as Joe Biden, and they got caught in a couple of those where they were actually tweeting on his behalf. And it's just like, oh yeah, there's plenty of people that you can tell are doing things for him. He's not doing... No,
he never did anything. You remember early on in his presidency, I remember in like 2021, whatever, when he first came in, he's like, oh, my people told me not to say this stuff. Like, they kept him away from everything, you know? Yeah. So, no, for the very least, you know...
COVID made it really easy. They could keep him in the basement, and he didn't have to go out because he was susceptible. He was high risk. I mean, he's an old fellow that's...
Yeah, but in 2021, like, I mean, I'm sure you were following the news, like, when they're saying, like, when he wasn't in, like, these, like, press conferences, he wouldn't talk to people, it seemed like, again, and I'm not, like, one of those, like, aluminum foil hat type of guys and stuff, you know. I'm not looking for conspiracies. I don't believe in conspiracies and stuff, but it seemed very weird. Like they wouldn't let him talk to the press or anything, you know, from the beginning of his presidency, you know. So that, you know, and it's been proven now, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Noelle.
It definitely has.
Oh, and thank you for finally making me on this, because you know I'm not some crazy guy that's gonna do something weird.
I can tell you're not going too wild. So I gotta ask you. So you just started boxing?
A year and a half ago. I'm trained by my trainer's a former featherweight IBF champ. So very happy.
Congratulations. Me and my partner, we run an MMA gym.
Nice.
Yeah, he's the Muay Thai coach and the striking coach, and then we also have a kickboxing coach, and then I'm the grappling coach.
Nice.
I teach 3 different styles of wrestling, and I was in wrestling for 21 years, and it's a cool gym. We've been running it for about 5 years now, and probably got about 21 students. We've had about 6 fights.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been working out. It's been working out pretty well so far.
So yeah,
good.
you're a wrestler. You're like you know about wrestling. You're a wrestler, so you're like a wrestling coach.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I also teach jiu-jitsu, but I wouldn't call myself a jiu-jitsu coach. Like, I can help people with it because I've done it before, but I'm not trained in jiu-jitsu. So I just kind of try to use things that I've learned from wrestling that are applicable in MMA, where you can throw people, holding them down. Folk style wrestling, which is what you do in school, that is it's also not in the Olympics. But it's what you do from like elementary school all the way through high school. That's folk style wrestling, and that's good at top pressure, so keeping people on the ground so they can't get back up. So in an MMA fight, that's great. That's what you want, is you can keep somebody on the ground and just beat them up, and that's a good thing to have. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you want to not learn too. But I'm a big boxing fan too. Not like a huge boxing fan, but I know enough about boxing. I had some boxers that I like to watch. I definitely think boxing is a necessary skill.
Interesting. No, there's a lot of things I could ask you about that. But like, what are your favorite boxers?
Current?
Yeah, sure.
I'd probably say Ryan Garcia. I'd put him up there. I like watching Ryan Garcia fight.
Technical.
I'm gonna go with. We were talking about this earlier. I'm gonna go with Francis Ngannou because I'm pretty sure he beat Tyson Fury in the fight that they had. So I'm gonna put him up there.
That's pretty crazy. I just watched. For the first time today, I actually watched Anthony Joshua when he fought him today for the first time. I never saw that fight before today. Yeah, he got him with that overhand. Yeah.
I was gonna say Anthony Joshua got a hold of him.
No, well, I had heard about Ngannou and because he was I didn't see many of his fights, but yeah, he went from like a big MMA guy and then started doing good in boxing. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Tyson Fury personally. So, I have not seen him against Tyson Fury. That is one that I'm planning to watch.
Vaughn says, Usyk.
Well, yeah, if we're talking about technical fighters, and he's currently been ranked as the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter. Technical, yeah, I mean, but he's very technical. He kind of puts you to sleep, too. I mean, if we're going to talk about technical boxers, let's talk about, like, Lomachenko, or, let's talk about people like that. Fun to watch, There's a lot of technical boxers that can be good, but, yeah, Usyk, but yeah, in the amateurs, like Beterbiev beat him in the amateurs. But I mean, amateurs, they can go either way and stuff. But Beterbiev is one of my favorite boxers.
Earlier in their career, I feel like it goes back and forth. I mean, Tank and Ryan Garcia are a good example of that. They've gone back and forth so many goddamn times, especially with amateur stuff. So I don't know. That's why a lot of promotions don't even count the amateur record once you get to a certain point. They only count your pro record. Vaughn said
pretty
Virgil, much. Inu. Who's Inu? I don't know that one.
Inoue. The top second one. The monster. Inoue. He is. He's up there. They put Usyk number 1, and then Inoue number 2, and then Crawford number 3. Right. I would put Crawford a little ahead of Inoue, but Inoue is awesome. He's featherweight.
They don't put Canelo up there with Crawford?
He's probably like 5th or 6th. No, well, in the whole grand scheme of things, like Canelo's like 5th or 6th. Again, like his first fight against Triple G Golovkin, he definitely lost that. Every like boxing analyst would agree on that. But it was scored as like a draw. And he did lose to Bivol, and Bivol just beat like Beterbiev recently, and I saw that fight. Yeah, so but Bivol, I don't like him. I think he's overly technical, and whoever put that stuff, your commenters are, they know what they're talking about with boxing.
Oh
The
yeah,
people you're putting up, these are knowledgeable boxing people right here.
I was talking to Vaughn earlier about it before you came on. He was talking to me about boxing, and yeah, he's definitely keeping it up.
Well, yeah, you know what keeps getting check hooked. Yeah, in his last fight, yeah, like it was Bob, like in that last one you were talking about like the openings before the fight happened, and then he got like was it like a check hook that like took him down that one time because that was like an opening because he leaves that opening on that side, and then they talked about it and then he left that opening. But Vaughn, remember that after he got knocked down with that, he compensated for that, and then it didn't happen again after that, and he still let loose. Yeah, this Vaughn guy, he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, and no, but Vaughn, like he compensated, they saw the open. They even mentioned on ESPN, like they saw the opening, and before the fight happened, and the guy took advantage of the opening. The guy was great. The guy who was taken on in that last fight is a tough guy. It was a great fight. Because that whole weekend we saw Garcia, Haney, I saw all those other matches, that same Canelo fight too. All of those matches were terrible, and all the announcers were saying it too. But when the Inoue fight happened after the Canelo fight, the Garcia, the Haney, the other fights happened, that fight was like exciting. So yeah.
I gotta ask you the same question I asked Vaughn though. Do you agree or disagree that Jake Paul is good for boxing?
I don't know. I don't like him. I don't think he's obvious. I don't like him, but I mean, he can take on like a moderate boxer. What I think he could easily take on a moderate boxer. He's not one of the best.
I don't even think he can take on a moderate boxer.
Because he did lose to the one reality store guy.
Well,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a reality store guy who was the brother of Tyson Fury, the reality store brother of him. Yeah.
But yeah, he's amateur, semi-pro, somewhere in there. I mean, he's not pro.
He's not a real boxer. He hasn't proven to be a real boxer, but I mean, he's proven he could try to do it, I guess. I mean, he doesn't completely suck, I guess.
My only argument for Jake is that he brings attention to boxing and that he gets people watching boxing more. And that's where I say he's good for boxing, because I would say there's not enough people drawing attention to boxing anymore.
Yeah, like everybody who knew me, like Tyson was my favorite boxer growing up. He was my favorite boxer, and when I heard about him versus Jake Paul, everybody's saying like Tyson will win. I'm like, no, he's not. I mean, he's 50 something. It's not like
what did you think about what did you think about the fight? I think he took,
it went exactly how I predicted it would go. And then like and like people at work were saying like, Tyson's gonna win and all this other stuff. I predicted exactly that. And I said, and I prefaced that as like, I love Tyson. I would love that he knocks him out easily early on. No, he's 56. It's 56 or something. So I knew that wasn't going to happen.
So I also said the same thing. I didn't think Tyson was going to win the fight, but what I came to after watching the fight a couple times was there was a point when Tyson opened up in the beginning rounds, and then Jake whispered something into his ear. Tyson would have gotten less money if he knocked Jake out than he would have if he would have lost the fight. That was their pay arrangement. So it was more in Tyson's favor to not win the fight. So I don't know. I think Tyson could have done it. I really do think he could. And there was a point where, because somebody pointed to the fact that he's always bitten his gloves in his fights. And if you watch right after right after Jake talked to him, he started biting his glove like he wanted to throw it, but he didn't throw it. You could see him start biting his glove like he used to when he was like a young guy. I'm convinced. I'm convinced he took a fall in that fight. Not a fall, but gave up the opportunity to actually beat Jake.
Well,
I think he had the ability to.
Well, the reason why the reason why I would disagree with you is I think I've seen this many times before with like older people taking on like younger people and stuff. I think that's why
I agree.
it went exactly. No, and again, I'm not saying that you're. I'm just saying I disagree with
Tyson's,
that.
I just think Tyson's different, but no, because that's what we were just talking about. We were talking about the only people that Jake has beat are old, washed up fighters or people that have never been boxers. Like those are the only people that he's beating, and most of them are all older than 45 years old.
Yeah, and true, and like my favorite MMA fighter of all time was Anderson Silva, which he did beat in a boxing match. And I mean, I give him a little. I have to give him a little bit credit for that. Even though like
Anderson was over 50. I expected Anderson to do well in that. And
he did fine. He did fine. It's just like Jake Paul is fine. Like he's an okay boxer. He's okay.
Yeah.
And we all know that it's even if he has the best trainers, the person has to be good enough to do it. They have to have some natural talent. You can't just train somebody to do it. Like with Ronda Rousey, she's not a striker. Like somebody told me when she lost that like, oh, if she had like Freddie Roach as her trainer or something, no. You have to have some striking ability. You have to have innate talent to actually be good at striking and stuff. So,
No.
Jake Paul is okay.
Judo. She's judo.
Right. Yeah.
So
like when she first lost
about Ronda.
Yeah, and remember when she first lost, like people, she's like she thought she could strike with like a striker, like a woman that was like a great striker, Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Yeah. Well, and it came down to her blocking. She was too worried about taking the shot or getting into a tie up, and that's how she ended with the head kick. That she absolutely put her to sleep. It was a rough fight.
And you're a wrestler. Remember were you watching when Couture took on James Toney? I mean, people were talking about that match before. I remember somebody who didn't know too much about fighting. He was telling other people that knew less. He was like, "Oh, if he can keep it standing, then he will win. If he can take it down, then he will win." I'm like, Couture, there's no chance that Couture is not going to take him down. There's zero chance of that.
Well, and that's the thing. If the boxer doesn't train how to at least get back up, then like those fights are a mess. Because if somebody can take you down and hold you there, they're going to win the fight. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to get more punches from your back than you are standing up. That's the hardest part about fights and the only thing I train when I'm actually fighting is I train kicks and I train distance shots because I want somebody to get close to me because then I'm going to grab them and that's when I get to grapple. But until then, I like to do distance shot. I've been training striking for about 5 years, something like that, and I'm decent at it. I wouldn't call myself good, but my head kicks are so accurate. Spinning back kicks, spinning heel kicks. My head kicks are insane. And I can do them with my eyes. Thing. Well, yeah, that's like the only thing I train. Like when I'm, that's the only striking that I train really. And I also strike from both sides. I'm dominant on both sides because I was always trained to, like in wrestling, you have to shoot from both sides. You have to take somebody down no matter what leg is forward. So when I had to do it, I had to keep switching my boxing hands as I was doing it. I can't remember the boxer or the UFC fighter we trained with. What's his fucking name? Oh, it's bugging me. But I've met a few UFC guys, and we had one UFC guy come to our gym, and he ran a clinical, and he couldn't figure out if I was right-handed or left because I was so fluid with both sides. And I was like, that's exactly how I wanted it because I don't want people to know I don't want to have to switch my legs in order to throw a kick. I don't want to have to do anything. I don't want to have to change my stance in order to throw a punch or a kick. So,
Well, I
like
find
really
that a little weird. I do find that a little weird that you're going for like high kicks, like knockout kicks, like that as a wrestler. Because for
Yeah.
one, like let's talk about Rampage, right? Never threw any kicks because as somebody who's like gonna punch an anti-wrestler, when you throw kicks, you're off balance. It's not a good thing as a wrestler,
You know why?
and it's
You know
not a good
why
thing to
it's bad
prevent a
for
takedown.
Rampage? You know why it's bad
Well, it's
for
not good to
Rampage?
prevent a takedown too.
But it's body style. I would rather. I'm more comfortable if somebody tries to take me down with my leg in the air than they would be trying to take me down with my leg in the air, because I'm just used to grappling. Like I don't feel like anybody's more comfortable in awkward situations than I am. So, but when it comes to Rampage, his flexibility isn't the same. That's why Anderson Silva, who's good at jiu-jitsu and good at grappling, he was happy with throwing a leg kick and having you try to dive in and try to grab one of his legs, because he was comfortable on the ground as well. That's why he was also a black belt in jiu-jitsu. That's why his body style is more perfect for throwing a high kick and then picking apart an opponent from a distance. But Rampage is just built different. You don't want to do that as a guy like Rampage. It's not really his fighting style. Rampage is more of, I'm going to power bomb you, I'm going to spear you. He's not that kind of a grappler. He's more of a brawler.
Hmm. Well, personally, like like if I was thrown into some MMA fight, right? Like my only thing is like boxing, right? So what I would be watching out for is like these people that are like Muay Thai or something. You set up like straight lateral movements, right? It's like like if somebody stands in front of you, they're gonna come in with like overhands, knees, legs, and all this other stuff. So the best way to fight them as somebody who's a boxer would be to crowd them, get in on the inside, just because the fastest thing in mid distance would be a punch, So like that would be the only way I could even survive in that, and that's how I would if I had to be thrown in one of those matches. Would be okay. Take on like a kickboxer, get mid range, stay mid range. Otherwise, I'm screwed. Because if they can just come at me laterally with their like overhands, knees, spinning back kicks, and all this other stuff, doesn't work out too good. So
I mean, so the difference in grappling and like other MMAs and other martial arts and trying to like bring them together is wrestling's set up weird. If somebody reaches forward, like to throw a punch, there's actually a move for that. It's called a drag. What you do is you would do what is like a parry, and you put your arm up, and then you circle their arm, and then you pull it with your back arm, and you pull it across your chest. That's immediately what you're supposed to do if somebody puts their arm close enough to you. So that if somebody is throwing a right or a left, my instant move is to parry, block, and then drag them across where I can then wrap them up. Like, inside boxing for me is just somebody gives me a limb and then I take it from them and don't give it back. It's not. It works the same with a kick. If somebody throws a kick to my side, they just gave me a single leg takedown, and I don't have to shoot. Yeah, sure. I have to absorb the shot. Don't get me wrong. If they throw a good shot, I still have to absorb that and be able to keep it. But yeah, it's a balance. I mean,
is it very hard to do? Like, is it like?
Oh yeah. All martial arts are hard to do. I couldn't walk into boxing and do well. I can't, like, every martial art has their own difficulties. They're all expertise.
Do you do sports, Noelle? Any type of?
Yes, I do track and basketball. Yes, I do. Yes.
Boss man is challenging Scottie to a steel cage match.
Oh, because he's doing. I can do like the eyebrow too. Sounds like a good idea.
And do you do anything, any sport stuff?
Scottie does boxing. That's what we were
That's
talking
it.
about.
Yeah, that's it.
How is it? How is it for you? Is it hard or is it easy? Is it?
It's a marathon every time I'm training, and like my trainer's from Russia, so it's and he won every one of his matches. He stamina it's all like it's and like that's how like boxing is. It's about like out and like having a lot of stamina. It's hard.
Is he
It's
trained
tough.
is he trained in Samba or is it just boxing?
No, he's not trained in sambo like Fedor, one of the great MMA fighters that we have.
Fedor. What's his name? Khabib.
Emelianenko.
Basically anybody coming from
Russia.
I can't remember
Former
Dagestan.
Soviet Union.
Dagestan is running
That's
the
part
UFC
of Russia
right now. Yeah, it's a small area. They have more champions by population than any other region in the world.
Well, currently for the lower rates.
Well, even for wrestling over the last 20 years.
Okay,
Dagestan's wild. Dagestan's wild when it comes to that.
No, they've had some good MMA champions, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
They know about they're great grapplers.
Oh yeah. And Sambo is a striking grappling. Like I wouldn't want to get into Sambo. Sambo is fucking mean.
What is that? Who is he? I never heard of it.
I agree, Vaughn, and that's why a lot of good fighters are coming out of there. They're just raised different. Hard times make hard men. That's a very good statement because the people that are challenged more and are coming out of that's why I said when Conor McGregor got to a certain point, he was no longer hungry. He's not challenging himself anymore. There's no competition for Conor McGregor anymore. There's plenty of people that are better than him that have surpassed him because he's not pushing himself the same way. When he got into the UFC, he was on food stamps and he didn't have, he was living on government, funding. And then he became filthy rich and didn't really care about fighting as much anymore.
Yeah, but sir, look at the current UFC champions. They're not gonna all. It's not gonna be like such a big thing for like Dagestan or Chechnya or any of those places. Like, MMA is from everywhere, and just like boxing is. These sports, like, it gets the best from everywhere, man. So.
Oh, I agree. It's just wild. It's wild to see that many champions from one area. That's rare. Every once in a while, you'll get a few guys from New Zealand. You'll get a few guys from Africa. You'll have a few guys from the United Kingdom. But you've never had like 6 champions all from such a small area. Dagestan is such a small area to be like, wow, why are they producing so many? You're talking about like a state in the United States. You're not talking about a big area. Like you said, it's a small area inside of Russia.
Well, that's true.
That's what's strange about it is the population and how many champions they're putting on.
I mean, you could say that, I guess. But yeah, I mean, still MMA and boxing, it's the best from different places in the world. Like personally with boxing, I'm trained in like the Eastern European style, so I like that type of style a lot.
Okay.
But there's Mexican style, there's Cuban style, there's American style. There's so many like talented people from all over the world with boxing, So again, we talk about Usyk, Terrence Crawford, America, Inoue from Japan. They're coming from all over the world.
Oh yeah,
and there's a lot from East Russia from Russia,
We have a lot of Chinese champions over history too, which I think is more of a hard nation to grow up in as well. I don't think they have it as easy. I think their training would be just watching the way that Japanese fighters and Chinese fighters, like I don't know if you know who Wei Li is. She's a up and coming. She might be the champion right now, or if she's not, she's like next in the division. But she's in the process of becoming UFC champion, learning English, playing the piano, like doing 30 things at once. And her strive for excellence is insane. And I know a lot of people that come from that region of Asia just do so well. And just
China, right? And like, there's been a lot of like Chinese women athletes that have been like up there. Right.
Yeah, their competitive nature is insane. Well, Korean Zombie. That's why I say a lot of people.
Korean Zombie. A big fan of. He's my favorite Korean fighter. You know, there's other ones I don't like. What was that, like Sexy Yama or whatever? I'm not a fan of him, but Korean Zombie, yes. Sexy Yama, no. You know?
Yeah. No, there's
Korean Zombie is awesome.
There's definitely some good fighters coming out of Asia that like their drive is just so much different than everybody else's.
Genki Sudo.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Genki Sudo. Well, and half of the fighters that came out of Pride when the UFC originally started up.
Oh yeah.
The Yakuza was running Pride, and then eventually, Yokomato and I can't remember all the original people that started up and just went over to the UFC after that. But
who's my favorite? He beat like Gracie in like a unlimited round match. Who is he again? I forget. The guy that beat Genki. No, not Genki Soup. His name started with an S. I'm thinking.
Is he Japanese?
Yeah, he is the wrestler. He took on Hoist Gracie.
Hair. And he had like orange hair.
Oh no, we're not talking about Minowa. I'm thinking that's what you're thinking of.
Maybe.
Well, it doesn't matter. No, he took on Hoist Gracie in like unlimited match, like no rounds, like unlimited, and the guy smoked like a pack a day, and he beat him by like he out grappled him, and then he just like humiliated him for like 100 minutes or something. It was crazy. Oh yeah, no, Pride was awesome.
There's only two fights that's actually happened very well against the Gracies, and one was the match with Eddie Bravo in jiu-jitsu, and then the other one was that fight in the UFC, because they've always walked through everybody. Like,
what, Matt Hughes? Well, Matt Hughes against Gracie too. Well, I mean, that was later on.
That one, yeah, and I think the Matt Hughes one, like even Matt Hughes was shocked by that. Like, I don't think he was expecting that.
Well, I mean, it's so later on too. But yeah, I mean, he destroyed. Yeah, it was like a later on. That wasn't like big, and it wasn't like a crazy thing in itself when he beat him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's definitely been some good fighters from all over. But yeah, it is weird how many people are coming out of Russia in general. But yeah, no, I do commentary on most of the UFC main cards, depending on the event. I have a whole playlist on my channel of doing UFC commentary. Yeah, it's a good time. I enjoy it.
Well, I'm enjoying what Noelle, your co-host, she's doing so much funny things. I'm just like watching.
Noelle's probably talking to other people right now too, so she's probably got herself muted.
I'm stopped.
What?
I did. I was just having fun with my friends on a panel. I was just having fun.
Oh, you're talking to your other friends? Okay, no worries.
Jacob, where's Mud Rabbit? Can she come?
Mud Rabbit's in the chat drinking catnip tea. And she said that she's drinking catnip tea and the cats are going nuts around her.
No, she's not informed. It's just stupid.
So what do you like to talk about when it comes to politics? What are your
Well, I'm like, I think I'm pretty much like you, a libertarian. I didn't pick a side in the last election. But you know what is crazy was like after it happened, I think like somebody brought up the point. They said like a lot of people didn't vote for Trump, but they were kind of happy he won, and I might have fallen into that a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
into that column.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't vote for him, and I wasn't following the election too much. Yeah, people
I'm
are
not-
too
I'm not
hung up
worried.
on this.
I'm not
People
worried
get too
about-
hung up on that.
I think people get too hung up on the people in general.
Sure.
So let me try to break down your ideas and try to figure out where you fall on a libertarian aspect. What are your thoughts on the Second Amendment?
Guns. Yeah, people should have guns. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think there should be a limit on what kind of guns people should have?
I guess so. Not, you know, they shouldn't ban AR-15s. I don't, you know, it's. I think like there's, in that case, maybe you should like weigh in other things. Like if people have like, if people are arrested for like violent criminal acts or something, maybe they
So,
should be limited
let's
more with
separate-
the type of guns they can buy.
Let's
Or
separate
if they
those
can
two
buy-
ideas. I agree with you on that. So let's separate those two ideas. I think there's people that should be excluded from owning guns, but
Sure.
I don't think people that are legal citizens should have restrictions on what we would consider arms.
I agree on that. I do agree.
Okay.
Yes, I
So-
do agree.
Because of the Second Amendment, I think it grants us the right to bear arms and then also to protect ourselves against a tyrannous government. And I
Sure.
don't think that civilians are able to own anything that they could defend themselves against their government with.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And
So I think the
there,
Second Amendment fails us.
why?
I think because I think it's an all or nothing thing. I think everybody should be
Well-
allowed to have the same guns as everybody else, but I do think there's exclusions for people with mental illness, felonies, stuff like that. But I think everybody should have the same access to weaponry as everybody else.
No, I agree with what you're saying. It's just like